Hi everyone, thank you so much for coming to my thrifting presentation. I'd love to just dive in and get right into it. First off, so we have thrift store locations. A big thrift chain is Goodwill. It's actually a nonprofit and it's owned by no one. There is a CEO though, and his name is Stephen Preston. Furthermore, there's Salvation Army. It's also a nonprofit and it's owned by General Lyndon Buckingham. He's the world leader of the Salvation Army. Furthermore, there's also online stores such as Depop, Whatnot, Facebook Marketplace, eBay, Poshmark, where you can sell things like clothing, appliances, cars. There's an app for kind of each one, and they all fall into those different categories. And there's other stores, more upscale places like Plato's Closet, and then other places like antique stores, flea markets, garage sales, estate sales, kind of like more spontaneous trips. Also, another thing about thrift store locations is that in the US, there's over 28,000 thrift stores, which is absolutely insane. Like every state that you go to, there will be somewhere to shop for thrifting. So what items can you thrift? I kind of touched on this previously, but any clothing like jackets, sweatshirts, sweatpants, any appliances like coffee makers, toasters, chairs. The list goes on. There's a lot. Home decor, lamps, There's some things that you can't thrift, and also I would not recommend donating, and that is strollers, car seats, bike helmets, and kitchen knives. Those 4 items because they're a safety concern to not only kitchen knives for the people sorting through the clothing or other donations that you're giving that could get cut, also strollers, car seats, and bike helmets. If someone purchases it, gets hurt while using it, that falls back on to, let's say, Goodwill, and then they're held liable, which isn't really fair because it's already a used product. In addition, don't donate any used cosmetics because they won't get put out onto the floor. Don't expect to buy any cosmetics. And also reusable bags, they just kind of cause clutter. Yes, it's very great when you donate something and it's in a reusable bag, but paper bags are just as great because then they can be recycled and it's just a lot easier for staff. And yeah, broken mirrors. I mean, it speaks for itself again, safety-wise. No one wants to get caught on broken glass. And also vacuum cleaners, they typically are returned because they don't work very well. And then they're just sent to a landfill. So it's best to just recycle them. Now we're going to talk about how to identify a vintage tag. First off, there's the Made in the USA, which I actually have an example of this. It's my winter coat that I love very much. It's Eddie Bauer brand, bright green, but the tag actually itself says Made in the USA. So I can confirm that this is a vintage item because it's at least 20 years old. So moving forward, there's also lot tags. They just have kind of like a black font. It says lot. There's also ILGWU, which stands for Ladies Garment Workers Union. And that union started in the 1900s until 2004. So it's vintage now, even if it was 2004, because it's already 2025. And also paper tags. They feel like paper. You'll be able to tell when you feel a paper tag. So, moving forward, best times to go thrifting, according to Thrift to Touch. This is more of an opinion-based thing, but also I know from experience that I feel this way as well. Best times to go are Monday to Wednesday because people are at work, It's pretty slow, you don't have people all around you, and it's just easier to sort through the racks. In addition to that, it's best to go in the morning or at night. It'll be the quietest in the store, and also either the racks or shelves have just been restocked or they're about to be. So, best time. Worst time, during the weekend. It's crowded. It's really just unenjoyable. It's not the best. Also, as a student, you can get a discount. So, Goodwill has discounts for up to 20% off the first and third Tuesday of each month, and Salvation Army on Thursdays is 50% off for students. So bring your ID and you can get half off. For charitable donations and taxes, you can scan these QR codes and they will bring you to the good, like fair value condition items for Goodwill and Salvation Army, just because those are the two main organizations in the US. So when you go and you donate an item, let's say I'm going to donate this coat. I'm like, okay, here's this winter coat. It's made of wool and size medium, you know. So I go to their website and they had given me a receipt for my donation. And I will market it at fair value. So some tips from the IRS when you are deducting on your taxes for a charitable donation. I made kind of like a acronym. It's called Good Gift. So first, give to real charities. If you donate your coat to a friend, they can't give you a receipt of that. It won't pass on taxes. It only counts if you itemize. So use the websites, break down the deductions on your tax return. Only the real value. So use those websites in the last slide. Decide fair value. Also by using the websites, good condition only. Don't bring anything with holes, and I mean, unless they're already like torn jeans and they're meant to be that way, don't bring socks that have holes. No one wants that. Keep proof of your receipts and records. And also, if you exceed $500, you'll have to fill out a Form 8283. And if you have take out an appraisal for charitable donations over $5,000. Anyways, just to recap the topics that we covered, we covered thrift store locations, what you can thrift and what not to donate, how to identify a vintage item, the best times of day to go thrifting, discounts as a student, and charitable donations on your taxes. So thank you everyone. These are my works cited and I hope you enjoyed.